Hi, who's ready for a book haul? So I have over 20 sitting here, and the fun thing is that because I'm new to booktube, you don't know that I've gotten these over the past 2 months. So because of that, I get to show you all of the things that I've either purchased or have come to me in the mail since May and June. So I'm going to go through them. They are not in any certain order. I don't really organize things. All right, this first one is an ARC sent to me by Kensington, and it's The Other Mistress by Shannara Williams. I've read The Wife before by Shannara Williams. I really enjoyed it. So when this came in the mail, I was super excited. I think it's, without reading too much into it, it's just a domestic suspense about seduction, betrayal, and obsession as a man's infidelity leads to a dangerous alliance where his scorned wife isn't the only one looking for answers. Juicy. Love it. This comes out in July, so I'll be getting to this one soon. Ooh, the next one is The Last One by Will Dean. Will Dean also wrote Firstborn, so if you've read that, then you understand the writing style, but I know that Gabby from Gabby Reads just read this in one of her vlogs and really enjoyed it. And to be honest, I wasn't super excited about this one. Like, I was excited, but it wasn't the top of the list. And then I watched that one, and now I'm like, heck yeah. Basically, from what I know, because this is a really vague synopsis, but from what I know, this woman goes on a cruise with her partner, goes to bed, wakes up, and is the only one on the cruise ship. End scene. That's all I know. And that's all I need to know. The next one is from Little Brown. It's called The Wolf Hunt. This comes out in August as well. I really don't know anything about this. A mother suspects her teenage son of committing a terrible crime. That's it. That's all I want to read. That's all I need to know. It reminds me of Wrong Place, Wrong Time, but without the time travel, where a mom thinks that her son committed a crime and what's she going to do about it? Is she going to figure it out? I love that. I think that is so fun. Really excited to read The Wolf Hunt. This is The Edge of Sleep by Jake Emanuel and Willie Block with Jason Gurley. So a few different authors here. What if the whole world fell asleep and didn't wake up again? Oh, that's all I need. I'm thinking it's about when you're trying to stay awake, because when you fall asleep, you don't wake up. And I am so down for that kind of story. This next one I got at a thrift store. It's fairly older. It's called Friend Request by Laura Marshall. I've heard a lot of good things about this one. A girl's friend passes away or is murdered, or somehow she is not alive any longer, and she's dealing with that grief, but then she gets a Facebook friend request from her deceased friend, and it's not like a spam bot or anything like that we're used to this day and age. So she has to figure out what the heck is going on. Is she being imitated? Is she alive? And I'm looking forward to this. It is quite a backlist, but I'm really excited. I've heard a lot of really good things about it. So this next one's called Stranger in the Scene. This also comes out in August. And basically we have this woman who is found in Paris. She's fished out of the Seine with no memory of who she is, but she has to identify herself, and the quest to identify her leads to a woman who is supposed to be dead. Yeah, we're here for that. I just got this one in the mail, and it's going everywhere on Bookstagram, and it's Dead 11 by Jimmy and Giuliano. Are you kidding me? Look at that cover. That's incredible. It's so creepy. It looks so weird. We're based on a creepy island where everyone has a strange obsession with the year 1994, and a newcomer arrives hoping to learn the truth about her son's death. I'm a 90s kid. I was born in 95, but 94 is a cool year too. So we're gonna figure out why this obsession's there. I think it's gonna be good. I'm just way super excited for that one. This YA thriller is called The Girls from Hush Cabin. This also comes out in August. I'm not a huge YA reader, especially thrillers. Like, I'm not a huge YA thriller reader, but they kindly sent this to me and I'm actually intrigued. It's about these 4 friends, each with their own dark secret, of course, but they have to team up and solve a murder, but they're former friends. So I'm sure that there are those secrets and those like fights and whatever, you know, whatever we went through in high school as a YA. You know, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it a fair shot because it deserves it, and YA has gotten a lot better throughout the years, so I think we have some hope for this one. So this next one comes out in July, so I'll be reading it soon, is Cutting Teeth by Chandler Baker. All I know about this is about, I think, 4 women with children who are in preschool, and they're going through this journey of reclaiming who they were and who they are aside from being a mother, and then their children come home, or it's just like this weird sickness going around within the preschool where the kids have a craving for blood. It sounds gimmicky, it sounds ridiculous, it sounds right up my alley. But yeah, this one comes out next month, so I'm really excited to get to this one. This domestic suspense, it just came out. It's called The Spare Room by Andrea Bartz. I'm excited for this. I've heard it's provocative. I've heard it's got some Ashley Winstead, The Last Housewife feel. And so I'm kind of going into this like, is it going to be hard to read? What is the actual story? And I know it takes place during COVID-19 and quarantine, and so I'm wondering how that's, you know, just going to bring up some memories from that time. She's staying with a friend, and her husband is deadlier than anyone could have imagined. She basically just goes to stay with her friends, her married friends, and I think some intermingling goes on. I think that there's just some spice in here as well. I don't know, I could be so wrong. I haven't read too much into this one. I feel like this is one of those that if I read too much into it, it's going to spoil it for me. So if you've read this, let me know if I'm completely wrong. I could be. This next one I have is called Have You Seen Her by Catherine Mackenzie. She also wrote Please Join Us, which I really enjoyed. This is about a woman who seemingly just leaves the life that she has to go to Yosemite Park, like gets a new burner phone, like just erases what she had and goes to Yosemite Park and joins this search and rescue team to hopefully solve a case that is close to the main character's life. Question mark. Cassie's past catches up with her. We love that. That's the only thing I've read in the back. I don't really want to go into this with reading much more. I think this is one of those that if I don't read the synopsis, I'll probably enjoy it more because everything's going to come at me as a surprise. So this book is not being pitched to you because it's no one's pitched it to me, and I don't know how to pitch it to you. Read it with me so we can talk about it after. This next one is The Daydreams by Laura Hankin. Oh my gosh, I am so excited for this. The author described this book as Daisy Jones and the Six, but imagine it during the Britney Justin timeline. That's all I needed. When the publisher sent this to me, I almost cried. I was so excited. This is one of those that I read thrillers all the time. I think this is going to be a good palate cleanser. I'm excited to follow a group of characters in that type of story again. So, especially in the 90s, because again, that's when your girl was born. This next one I have is Bad Summer People by Emma Rosenblum. I literally have no idea what this is about, but the very little blurb at the top just says that it's a debut about infidelity, backstabbing, and murderous intrigue. Ooh. Set against an exclusive summer haven on Fire Island. That's it. So I'm in. I'm down for some intrigue. I'm down for some backstabbing. I am down for some literary murder. This next one I have is called The Interpreter by Brooke Robinson. This comes out in September, but basically from what I know about this book is we have this woman who is fluent in all of these languages, and she's in the courtroom interpreting things in the courtroom, and she's also in the midst of an adoption with this sweet little boy, and a case comes in that she's slightly aware of, and it kind of freaks her out a little bit, and I think she purposefully misinterprets what they are saying to the judge or to the lawyer, and what now she has to go through the aftermath of that. The main character thinks that she got away with it, but she obviously didn't, otherwise it wouldn't be in a book that looks like this. So I'm excited to see how she did not get away with it. All right, so this one's super excited about. It's called Murder in the Family by Kara Hunter. And on the back it says 6 episodes, 1 killer. And so basically from what I've gathered from skimming the synopsis is that this big case, this big murder happened a little while ago, and there are people in the house who say they didn't see anything, and everyone suspected the father, and it was just this big case, and no one was convicted for anything, and so they just kind of had to scrap it and let it go. But we all know, like, some cases are just too big to forget. And so now there's this streaming series called Infamous, dedicated to investigating and maybe cracking this famous cold case. And so the production team comes in, they'll re-examine testimonies, interview witnesses, go over the evidence. People are going to speak out again. I love docu-series like that. I think this is going to be a really fun read. She is thicker, but it looks to be told, I've never even opened it. It looks to be told in like interview format. So I guess that's why, yeah, that's going to be a quick read. This is told in just a multimedia format. Oh, this will be quick. I'm excited about that. I'm even more excited now that I know it's told in that way. So this is a new one that I'm super excited about. And you get $1 for every time I said I'm super excited about something. So you should have $1 million. But this is called At the End of Every Day by Ariana Reish. And this is set in an amusement park. Now, I read Hyde, set in an amusement park. It didn't hit what I needed it to hit. I have high hopes for this one. A loyal employee at a collapsing theme park questions the recent death of a celebrity visitor, the arrival of strange new guests, her boyfriend's erratic behavior, and ultimately her own sanity. Sign me up. Absolutely. This is The Woman Inside by M.T. Edvardson. I think this is just, from what I have read, I think it's just like a typical domestic thriller. A wealthy couple ends up murdered in the nicest part of town, and so they have to figure out who did it, and there are secrets. And I'm getting to the very end of enjoying that type of book because I feel like I've read almost every single outcome that can come from that, but I don't know. Maybe this one will do it for me. It came out this month in June. I haven't gotten to it yet, so it's going to be one that I get to fairly soon. So thank you, Celadon, for that one. So this looks like a fun one by Josh Winning called Burn the Negative. And it is about a remake of a horror film, of a 90s horror film, but the set is said to be cursed. That's about all I know about it. I think it sounds really fun and campy and gimmicky, and I'm sure there's going to be some creepy things in here. I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm excited about this one, just to see how they handle a cursed movie set. Okay, Windfall by Wendy Corsi Staub. I'm pumped. I'm pumped for this one. This comes out in July, and basically this is about 3 friends who they win a $1 billion lottery jackpot, and one of the friends goes missing. Yeah, I love it. That's all I need. That's it. So this next one is another YA called the St. Ambrose School for Girls by Jessica Ward. I think this is our typical girl going to private school, don't really fit in, doesn't have the designer clothes, and there's this mean girl or a clique of mean girls, and try to make the new girl's life a living hell, and what that looks like throughout the time. It says that it's Mean Girls meets We Were Liars. You put Mean Girls on anything, I'm going to try it. So I'm excited to give this one a go. I've seen some reviews that were great and some that weren't so great, so I'm wondering where I'll fall into that. But there are scandals, someone ends up dead. When you go to boarding school, apparently that's all that happens. So thank you, Mom and Dad, for not sending me to boarding school, because we all know how those go. And the last one is Just Another Missing Person by Gillian McAllister, who wrote Wrong Place, Wrong Time. I don't know anything about this, but if Gillian McAllister wrote it, then I'm going to read it. All it says, all I've read, there's a man out there, his weapon isn't a gun or a knife, it's a secret. And then we have Olivia and her side of things. She gives her stat. She's 22. She has no history of running away. She was last seen entering a dead-end alley and not coming back out. She's been missing. And then we have Julia. Julia's the detective. Now, I'm not a big detective kind of girl or police procedural kind of girl, but Gillian did such a good job in Wrong Place, Wrong Time with that sort of aspect that I think that I'll like it in here. She handles that well. Julia's got to figure out what happened to Olivia. There's going to be some twists and turns along the way. So there are so many books in this pile. I get to figure out when I'm reading what, but thank you if you've made it this far, thanks for sticking around. Let me know down below which book you would love to read first, or you would love for me to read first and review for you. I'd love to be able to do that for you, kind of give you some thoughts, be your guinea pig. So just let me know. Thank you for sticking around, and